Assalamualaikum, and back again with a business documentary with Ahmad. And today we are going to dissect the case of 1MDB. Okay, Miss Charissa, can you give me a brief introduction for 1MDB?
Okay, Daniel. So what is 1MDB? 1MDB is a Malaysian state fund established in 2009 aimed to promote development through foreign investment and partnerships. Najib Razak, the then Prime Minister, chaired the organization. The 1MDB scandals involve Malaysian official one linked to the embezzlement of billions from the National Wealth Fund. Global attention has focused on corruption and misappropriation of funds, with the US Department of Justice taking legal action. Despite remaining unnamed, Malaysian official one faced scrutiny, sparking public outcry and demand for accountability.
Thank you for coming, Miss Fatehah, to the studio. Can you tell me the funding mechanism and sources for 1MDB?
Of course, the very first component of the funding mechanism and sources used by 1MDB is the issuance of bond. 1MDB issued both bonds domestically and abroad to raise a sizable amount of money. Next is the government guarantees. From this, 1MDB was able to borrow money at advantageous rates because the Malaysian government guarantee a portion of its loan. And the other funding mechanism and sources also used by 1MDB are joint ventures, investment, offshore entities, and financial instruments.
Continuing with the question, what are some high-profile projects that 1MDB has been undertaken?
The first project introduced by the 1MDB is Tun Rajah Exchange TRX, which is located in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. TRX project was aimed to become a premier financial center that would attract investments and companies at the international level. It also aimed to provide state-of-the-art infrastructure, commercial and residential spaces, as well as amenities such as parks and culture centers. The project was intended to establish Malaysia as a prominent financial hub in the region and stimulate economic growth. And the next project is Bandar Malaysia Projects, which is a 486-acre mixed-use, transit-oriented development that located at the site of the former Sungai Besi Air Base in Kuala Lumpur. And the other high-profile projects is the acquisitions of power plants from PowerTech Energy. 1MDB bought and upgrade existing power plants with the goal of increasing its market share in the energy industry and improving Malaysia's energy security.
Ms. Yong Jin, is there allegation of financial irregularities or corruption in the context of 1MDB?
The first one is embezzlement. It involved the theft of money that was mostly obtained by borrowing through bank loans or other borrowing. Second is bribery. To conceal the embezzlement, more bribes were made to 1MDB account managers and important individuals at the bank where the money was transferred to help with the misappropriation. And next is false declaration. There were fraudulent statements made by the beneficiaries and middlemen involved in the money transfer.
Can you tell me the potential causes of the 1MDB scandal?
One of the causes of 1MDB scandals is lack of internal control over 1MDB's financing, investment, and spending. Inaccurate and misleading information was continuously provided to the board, and the board was not consulted for some significant financial and investment decisions. Next is weak internal control against money laundering in banks in Malaysia. As we can see that banks did not take money laundering regulations seriously, and there is no action being taken against them.
Ms. Chung Siew, if so, the potential causes that said by Ms. Yong Jin, what are the consequences of the scandal?
The consequences of the scandal is insolvency and bailouts. The organization became bankruptcy by 2016 due to the 1MDB scandal unable to meet important debt servicing obligations. The next consequences of the scandal is political fallout in Malaysia. For instance, the UMNO, which is Najib Razak's political party, was mostly brought down by the 1MDB scandal. In the aftermath of the 1MDB scandal, Malaysia has taken steps to address corruption and improve transparency and accountability in government and business. For example, Malaysia took immediate and extensive measures to strengthen its anti-money laundering, which is AML framework. The institution's values of honesty and compliance must be promoted by leaders to improve the efficiency and reach of AML framework.
Essentially, what is the mechanism of the corruption embezzlement in the context regarding 1MDB?
I believe there are 5 mechanisms of corruption and embezzlement in the context of 1MDB. The first one is misappropriation of fund through intricate financial transaction meant to hide the fund origins and destination. Billions of dollars were stolen from Malaysian National Wealth Fund in the 1MDB case. Secondly, Malaysian Official 1. Malaysian Official 1, who is thought to be the Prime Minister of Malaysia, was connected to obtain a substantial amount of embezzled money, underscoring the participation of senior officials in the embezzlement plan. Thirdly, laundering of fund. The embezzled funds were claimed laundered through accounts in the US, Singapore, Switzerland, and other nations, indicating the global scope of the corruption plot and attempts to hide the money's illegal origins. Fourthly, lack of accountability. Despite accusation and protests from the public, there was a lack of accountability at the most powerful level of the government. Some officials refused to accept the Malaysian Official 1 was responsible for the scandal, illustrating the difficulties in holding influential people accountable. Lastly, its impact on reputation. Malaysian credibility and appeal to investors may have suffered long-term consequences because of the 1MDB crisis, which damaged the nation's standing internationally.
Mr. Patrick, what are some relevant laws and regulation which is related to the financial crimes in regards to 1MDB?
Regulation and law are fundamental mechanisms that aid governments in developing and maintaining control over the individuals they rule. Malaysia has made remarkable progress in developing a highly effective anti-money laundering system since 2000. Anti-money laundering, Anti-Terrorism Funding and Process of Unlawful Activity Act 2001, which is one of the example, and second, which is the Anti-Corruption Commission Act of 2009, and with the Securities Commission in Malaysia Act 1993, and also with the third example, which is the Banking and Financial Institution Act 1989, and also with the Computer Crimes Act of 1997. All of the rules and regulations which is to promote financial stability, safeguard consumer, and ensure the integrity of the financial system, which include preventing and prosecuting financial offence.
Continuing the question, Mr. Patrick, what are some cases which are similar of financial scandals in context to 1MDB?
Okay, Daniel, now I talk about the similar cases, which is the Nazir Razak actually established 1MDB in 2009 to manage Malaysian abundance resources through strategic investment. But in 2015, significant indication of trouble emerged when the organization was unable to fulfill its obligation to pay a portion of the money, the debt that had been entrusted to bank and bond holders. So before going to the 1MDB scandal that had a significant impact of Malaysia financial and political scene, which is the Bumi Putra Malaysia Finance Limited, which is we call as BMF scandal in the early 1980s, as of highlighting the weaknesses in Malaysian financial institution and the consequences of mishandling and corruption. So the BMF, which emerged in 1983, revolved around the Hong Kong-based subsidiary of Bank Bumi Putra Malaysia Berhad, which is BBMB, known as Bumi Putra Malaysia Finance Limited. So the BMF affair, like the consequence 1MDB crisis, served as a forewarning, highlighting the perils associated with corruption and financial mismanagement.
Returning back, Ms. Chung Siew, what are some impacts of the scandal on Malaysia economy and global reputation?
The immediate aftermath of the 1MDB scandal saw Malaysia's economy and international reputation take a severe hit. There were significant economic ramifications due to the financial fraud's immense scope. The 1MDB controversy significantly damaged Malaysia's reputation as a favorable location for investments. Investor confidence was damaged about Malaysia's governance and legal system.